All righty then, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another fabulous episode of Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm your boy Mike. We've got Tony, and back and better than ever, Vincent Scott. You.
I like the new intro.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, that scene gets me riled.
Yeah, right.
How are you doing,
man? It has just been a wild ride. It's been crazy the last few weeks. I swear.
No, I bet.
Went out to Vegas.
Mm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
We got you.
Okay. I guess there's a bit of a delay there, but yeah, went out to Vegas. Got a quote from David Schwartz, the man himself. I went up to him. The whole thing was, I had gotten drafted to go to XRP Las Vegas by John D. Parody and the rest of the Anon community on X in order to go and cover the event, because this event happens every year and there's a lot of hype that comes out of it, and it's like, well, is there any real stories that really need to have an exposure of it? So I got they pay for the ticket, pay for the hotel, pay for everything. Finally gets up to the time to go. I get out there, and getting there was just an entire hassle. The 3-hour layover in Chicago, get to LA, Las Vegas, had to wait an hour just to leave the airport to get to the hotel, and then the hotel, all of the kiosks were broken, and we only had one person checking in anybody. Get to my hotel bed by like 3 a.m. It's ridiculous. It got up to the first day going there.
Yeah, tell us the vibe of the event before you get into the main topic.
Yeah, I just go there. Yeah, I walk in unrecognized, pretty much. I'm wearing a suit, and then all of a sudden I start getting recognized by my laugh, and then a few people came up to me, and I'm just like, "Hey, man, I'm just from Missouri, just here to cover this." And that was pretty cool seeing people finally, people that have been following for a while, my readers, whomever. But I started listening to everybody talk, and I'm like, you know what? All of this is review. It was kind of funny that John Deaton even said that, who is Satoshi? The next question after that is where are the bags at? Because if you don't know who Satoshi is, why are you making loans off of it? It's just at that point, you don't know who the hell owns that thing, and it could just be, the CIA, NSA, just waiting for it to get into the right places, and then everybody's gun to their head. So I'm watching. Finally, David gets up to speak.
This is the first day?
And yeah, says a couple of things that are pretty interesting. About layer one, that if there's any fraud, it has to do with anything that's bridging to the ledger and off of it. So any other protocol, not XRP itself, but another protocol. And all the problems that come up are with those type of bridging protocols, how to reduce fraud. So he gets done speaking, and then I see him go out into the lobby area where he's just talking with people. So I kind of maneuver up around the side and tap him on. And my question was, is what Ripple built a financial system? Meaning that the unit of account transmitting over the decentralized method of payment through the means of exchange, XRP, ledger, XRP, and then XRP in 3 to 5 seconds as either a gas or a money processor to convert. And he says, yes, you can consider those things as a financial system. I said, great, thank you very much. And then I walked away. Yeah, and then I recorded the video really quick, tell everybody what happened, and then go back, run a space, talk to everybody about it, go to sleep, wake up, and now it's day 2. Day 2, I go there, and Brad Garlinghouse speaks, and he gives a very political message about giving the skull of Satoshi back to, the community over at Bitcoin, at the Bitcoin conference. Like, we need to stop fighting in crypto case. If they win, we win, we all win. But, at the end of the day, screw Bitcoin, like who the hell is Satoshi? If we don't know that, then it's a national security threat. So he gets done talking. I go back to the hotel. Do a space, go to the after party, stay for a little bit, just watch the band, go back, run a space, and then I'm in the hotel lobby or the hotel grill, trying to get something to eat that night. Then I start getting text message reminders that, oh my God, my plane's about ready to leave. So I had to rush upstairs, gather up all my stuff, head to the airport, and as I'm walking up to the last of my boarding party is getting onto the plane. So I would have missed it by that much if I would have just delayed just a little bit. And then I finally get home, right? And then all of a sudden I'm like, I went out there, got this done, okay. I start getting doubted that this even happened. So I had to put up a post, and finally David Schwartz commented on it, affirming the entire thing, that yes, I did get this quote, and Ripple did build a financial system. And then after that, it was pretty much suppressed. Freaking nuts, man. So, the last couple days, I've just been taking it easy. All right. Just staying out of the loop a little bit, just recovering.
How was
no one was picking up the story? Ridiculous,
And
they weren't picking up the story. That would have been front page news.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, I was just saying continue. It would have been front page news. I thought, and you also had an article written on you. Do you know the person that wrote it?
Not offhand. It's the article was written. It was Jeremy something. I forgot the last name, but that article literally lays out everything anybody needs to know about that question that I got. And I don't know if you want to pull it up or not. I can send it to you.
Yeah. Send it to me. I'll forward it to Tony. While you're doing that, I guess I could ask you, just for the community itself, I guess, why do you think, the answer that Joel gave you such a revelation and a big deal for the community?
Well, it's a big deal because it's finally confirmed. It's like no one ever got it on record. It was always just, let's just deduce it, all these other documents. No one ever asked the man. No one ever asked Brad. And now there's a difference between a deduction and a confirmation. When you have a confirmation, it is now transferred into a fact. Therefore, you can call Congress with it and start, pestering them to make laws or have awareness, spread education. You're dealing in a realm of fact versus here's what I think those documents look like to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%.
So let me see this. Let me send you this here.
Was the venue nice? Where was it at?
All right, I just sent you the post with the article.
Okay,
it was in MGM Grand.
Okay.
It was pretty nice,
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm not a Vegas person. So to me, I was like, okay, just go there, get the job done, go back home.
Yeah. Were there any challenges you faced when you were there?
Had to take the Zen out.
Oh, you're good. Dude. Yeah, it gets to a point. Any challenges you
really,
were there while covering?
Just getting. No, not really. Just, getting to and fro the hotel with the Ubers. The Ubers out there are like $60 each way. It's ridiculous.
That's tough. That is annoying. You stayed outside
I don't
the
know
strip?
if you've ever been to Vegas. It had to. No, I stayed at Treasure Island.
Okay.
So it's right on the strip.
I've been to Vegas. My dad lives there, so I've been there a couple times. It is what it is. It's just a playground for like, adults in a sense. I haven't been since the school has been erected and all these other things, but
yeah. And
hold on, Tony's getting up.
For some reason, this keeps like cutting out.
I know. We noticed that. I don't know. Every time we have important news with you, they try to hack your internet.
Telling you, man, it's the fucking agents, dude. That's why I've been just like, staying out of it for, about a week now. Slowed down on a lot of the content production, whatnot. Just, recovering, watching, learning. If I got thoughts, I'll post it, but I just really haven't lately just because there's just so much chaos going on right now. And it's hilarious, right when I got that confirmation from David on X. Funny, that's exactly when Trump and Elon had their spat. I'm like, I was like, don't tell me this shit's linked.
Imagine. And that's all a show to me also. Like it's all the art of war, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's a total show.
Yeah.
Total bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Completely.
Were you nervous to meet Joel Katz at all? I like calling him by his handle.
No. I was far too focused. I just needed to get this. I needed to accomplish a mission. There was nothing really, any news going on at that, convention. It was all review.
Yeah.
So I saw the man. And I'm like, okay, I need to go talk to him.
Where'd you see him? Walking around?
No, he was he got swarmed by like 30 people up at the lobby area. And I just maneuvered around the back and I told him, hey, I don't want to stick a camera in your face. I just got a question I want answered. And asked my question and, got called a liar for it. And then when I made my post asking him to affirm it, I even said, I was like, I treated you like a human being. I didn't want to stick a camera in your face, but now my journalistic ethics are being called into question. If you could please just affirm this, I hate to involve you further. I'd be extraordinarily grateful. And then he finally responded twice to that post where I got him to affirm what he told me in Vegas. So, it's basically double, triple confirmed now that, yeah, Ripple built a financial system. And, when you have the unit of account, the method of payment, and the means of exchange, that's all you need, to get out of the Federal Reserve System. Because right when those units of account start to compete with each other on a fair, level playing field, they're competing for transactions, meaning trust. And the more trusted a unit of account is, you can see other bastions of power for those units of account recede, which is what we want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's to decentralize the means of transacting at the end of the day. And Ripple's the only one that built that. That's the difference there between it as a company and every other crypto protocol out there.
Right. And before we article real quick, because I know, I don't know, I'm sure on your end and definitely on our end, we have some new people to the space. And I know you've answered this question so many times. You've answered it on here. But just while they're in here, because I know some of them are in here, can you just explain to someone who's new what the difference is between XRP and honestly any other crypto? obviously, you know, some people are going to come at us, you know, Hedera and all these other ones. It's just like, why XRP for you? Obviously for me as well. Everybody knows me, knows. I mean, that's it for me. I don't need anything else. Just
Right.
a XRP for dummies answer. You know, like the books from back in the day.
Okay, sure. Right. So XRP is just a money processor. It converts into anything you want to settle in within 3 to 5 seconds, or it can be used as gas to facilitate a domestic transaction. Now, what makes it so powerful is the fact that the more transactions that occur over the ledger, the higher it must be in order to handle the volume, frequency, and amounts of those transactions after the laws, of course, because these are financial instruments. So them being financial instruments, meaning they are moving value, and people with licenses need to be able to have the law backing them up to use this financial instrument. Now, Ripple, the company, has other products such as RLUSD, which is a unit of account that is fully audited and fully backed, upon which that can create more transactions onto the ledger. Now, I often use a very simple analogy to think of XRP and the ledger as a gumball machine, wherein whatever tokenized asset, CBDC, or stablecoin that's on the ledger is just another gumball in the gumball machine creating transactions. And the more there are, the more transactions, the higher the price must be in order to handle it. So it decentralizes the ability to transact all throughout the world, all within 3 to 5 seconds. That speeds up the velocity of money, which means money can move far quicker and without any leverage in order to create more investment opportunities. And you can stake it and earn a yield eventually, you know, where your little money processor that is helping facilitate transactions you can earn a yield from any transaction that touches it. So that's really the whole kit and caboodle there. And, you know, you got Trump with the strategic stockpile where XRP is going to be part of it. And you can just foresee into the future that they're going to stake it as well and earn a yield off of those transactions. So all of these things are lining up, and why getting that answer on record from David himself is so important. You know, because it's just a fully fledged financial system that they built, which they've had all of these relationships with the current banking industry in order to create and solve the problems of. So that's really the biggest difference there, you know? No other crypto company can boast that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And when you talk about the laws, what laws are you looking for them to you know, put out there for the new people out there in the world?
Well, you know, we have currently the Genius, Stable, Clarity, and Fit 21 bills working their way through Congress right now. And more than likely, they're all going to get amalgamated into one at the end of this whole process. We'll see. But, you know, it's all of these market structure laws that the people with licenses, the people that have to move value every day, they need to be protected by it in order to use this new financial system, this new technology. These are techs, not stocks. So whenever you think about cryptocurrency or blockchain, these are just instruments for moving value, and you need to have laws by people in the institutions in order to use it. Just like with weed, you know, it was legal for medical and then it became legal for recreational. It's like, okay, you need laws for this product. Same thing, you know?
No, absolutely. You know, it's funny. David Schwartz just tweeted out, and I hit him with a link and was like, "Dude, come join the conversation. Be great to have you guys talk together." Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. I'm really.
That's
It would be sick
hilarious.
if you came on. That'd be dope. But yeah, so you just let's pull up the article because you had mentioned it earlier. I want people to take a look at it too.
Sure.
We can read through it together. There's the man himself.
Okay, read some of this? Or?
Yeah, Tony, you can read it. Yeah.
All right, cool. So this is published here on
Go ahead.
Tabloid. Zacchaeus over here, our boy. Starts off at the recently concluded XRP Las Vegas event. A powerful revelation emerged, but surprisingly, it is yet to make the front pages of Ripple news coverage. Rippy. Journalist and well-known XRP community voice Vincent Scott took to X to declare what he believes was the most groundbreaking moment of the conference. A clear, confirmed statement from Ripple's chief technology officer, David Schwartz, that Ripple was indeed built a comprehensive financial system. Looks like it says here Vincent Scott recounted the moment in a now widely circulating post on X. According to him, he posed a precise and technical question directly to Schwartz. Whether what Ripple has built constitutes a financial system where the unit of account RLUSD transmits over a decentralized method of payment, the XRP ledger, and uses XRP as either gas or a money processor to convert. Schwartz's answer was unambiguous. Yes, you can consider those things a financial system. Then they have your tweet here posted as well. And then Vincent Scott recognizing that you can
scroll down a little
bit. Scroll down. Understanding the confirmation, why it matters.
Okay, yeah. Go to Ripple's quiet power play. I'd read that.
All right, cool. Despite the magnitude of this revelation, Vincent Scott pointed out the irony that it has not dominated Ripple's media headlines. Crazy, in quotes, it says, crazy, it's not front page Ripple news. He commented, capturing the sentiment that sometimes the most profound confirmations can slip under the radar simply because they formalize what many already assumed. But formal acknowledgement matters, especially in an industry where regulatory scrutiny, technological promises, and market speculation often collide. Ripple's work with central banks has placed it under a magnifying lens, confirming that it has constructed a full financial system, not just a payments protocol, positions Ripple even more centrally in discussions about the future of finance, digital money, and decentralized infrastructure. Can we keep going?
Yeah, why not? I think so.
Yeah, what this means for the XRP ecosystem, for XRP holders, developers on the XRPL, and institutional partners watching Ripple's progress, this confirmation is a key validation point. It means that Ripple is not merely building tools or applications on top of a ledger. It has constructed an interconnected financial ecosystem. RLUSD will likely play a pivotal role as Ripple expands its stablecoin strategy and XRP's dual function, both as a means of gas and a liquidity bridge, cements its role at the heart of the system. This comprehensive architecture gives Ripple a unique edge as global financial institutions increasingly look toward blockchain solutions that can offer scalability, regulatory compliance, and interoperability. While competitors like Stellar, Swift, and other cross-border initiatives work on similar solutions, Ripple's fully integrated system, now publicly confirmed by its top technical architect, marks a powerful statement of maturity and readiness. And then classic disclaimer, this content is meant to inform and should not be considered as financial advice. Great, dude. Great job, man.
No, it's really awesome, dude. I'm glad.
Well, I mean, it says it all. That says it all.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad the community, helped you get there. Was your game plan going in? Yeah. Was your game plan going in to ask David Schwartz or Brad Garlinghouse this question? Whoever you could get your hands on.
Well, I had posed this question to David 2 weeks prior, or 2 or 3 weeks prior, and no response. So, I'm like, I'm getting this. I need to know. Everyone needs to know. This needs to get on record as confirmed. Okay, we can't live in this hall of mirrors of deductions anymore. We need absolute clarity on what the hell this thing is, what this company has built, what the future is going to be. So I asked that question like 3 weeks prior to it and didn't get an answer. So And a bunch of people wanted that question answered. So, you know, I saw my opportunity and then I just took it. And that was basically it. I had really no plan, you know, going in, but I knew I wanted that question answered for my own damn sake, as well as everybody else's as well, you know, and I'm glad it's finally on record that yes, they did build a financial system. Okay. And here's what that entire makeup actually looks like, you know, as far as every single level. And that article laid it out extremely well. Whomever wrote that has been paying attention to whatever I've done for a long while, I would say. So right when I saw that article came out, I started just, you know, spreading it around like, hey, read this, everybody read that, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't even want the credit as far as like one of my posts getting trafficked. That article does an excellent job, you know, excellent job of just everybody getting on the same page of what this thing is, how important it is, where we're going to in the future, you know. And we see a bunch of the political maneuverings for the debt ceiling fight, you know, a lot of the peace deals, the trade lanes, and now we have civil unrest going on here. It all has to do with this. It all has to do with this new method of transacting that we're going towards in this next, who knows, maybe a year. As soon as those laws get in on the books, things are going to start to move very, very fast. And everybody just needs to be aware of it. And I got it on record so everybody can speak factually to their friends, family, whomever, about what
Right.
this company is, what they build, and why it is so important.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people, we've talked about it so much, just aren't with it, whether it's people in their 50s or even people in their 20s. It's not biased towards anyone. I always liken it to the dot-com boom or cell phones coming out, or even Web 2 with social media when that was all new. You know, people will say MySpace, but I'm really talking about Instagram, YouTube, and that whole era of what we
Right.
now call Web 2. I mean, and I always do kind of compare it to electrical work, which is I think you'd appreciate it. You know, we're in a studio, all the electrical work is done. All Tony has to do is flip that switch and the lights are going to go on. And that's essentially where we stand right now with crypto, and specifically for us, XRP. We have some comments here, though. I'd love to just go through them, Tony, if you don't mind.
You want to hammer all of them from the top? Let's do
From
it,
the
dude.
top, baby.
We have Josh B in the house, says LFG.
He's hyped.
Dude. Obviously hyped. We have Ernie with the year.
He's a potential XRP investor. I saw him come in here, so that's why I was like, you know what, this is a good time to have my man Vincent educate him.
Absolutely, dude. Josh B hyped to see
Go
the
read
year.
that article.
Brian Barnaby also in here. The good evening, fellas. We
The
are
legend,
back, dude.
yes, baby.
John Pollock says, "Oi." And then we have Dan DuPont here from YouTube says, "Hey, bro." And then he says, "Good evening, peeps. Perhaps highs?" Question mark.
Is he referring to XRP highs?
Perhaps. Mr. DuPont may or may not be. And then we also have Josh B asking a question directly toward Vincent here.
Yes.
Says, Vince, do you only invest in XRP or do you invest in other cryptos?
It's the only one with an actual company that built something. So no.
My man.
Bang. And then we also have Joey Greenwood, actually. He says, I feel so informed. And he says, I've never been with it.
Joey is not, no.
Joey is not, dude. I bet Joey probably couldn't even read that article, to be honest, dude.
No, he's still learning.
Yes.
It's a simple read, you know. It's a totally simple read. Anybody can. It's very accessible. And if you got problems, I'll yell at you for free. You know, just go to my fucking profile, just go to the highlights, and just start absorbing some abuse. All right.
Yeah, and I noticed that you know, as you say, chart faggotry is still going on. And all that stuff. Are you still hammering these people? Are you still not letting them get away with it?
You know, it's funny. Other people have stepped up to where I could kind of step away from that,
Yeah.
and I could just concentrate on news. So Tina, she has really stepped up a lot on X to call out a lot of these scammers, and whoever it follows along with whatever I do, or is one of my readers or anything, they all know, that all that's just bullshit. It's just complete bullshit, especially now. Especially now, after getting that confirmed. Like, none of that shit makes any sense as far as like charts or prices or whatever. We have no laws. We have no laws for any of this stuff to be implemented for us to get a utility rise out of it. Once the laws happen, that's what we're waiting on. Everybody just needs to get political now. Everyone, you have facts that you've been armed with. There's no excuse now why you shouldn't be calling Congress, why you shouldn't be, doing letter campaigns, doing, raising awareness, doing all these other actual things that get legislation through the House and then through the Senate. And if you want to speed this up, that's how, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All these moon boys, they want the moon shot. Well, buddy, we need laws first, okay? So put your shoulders to the wheel on that.
No, yeah, it's true. It's the only way. I mean, I do have a feeling it'll be sooner than later. That's just like intuition. It's not anything backing it. It's been a long time coming. And we're definitely in a different place than we were, even a year ago. You know what I mean? And it's things are moving in the right direction. One of my favorite, and I hate it. It's when I say my favorite is when I see like XRP videos on like TikTok or whatever, and they're like, XRP to 1,000 by next week. This is why. And I'm just like, you're so shot. Like you're gonna just lose so much credit.
Right.
I don't get why people even follow or listen to these people. They're so stupid.
I have no idea. I've been trying to make it obvious, but somehow they're still around. I don't get it, man. And then they tried to say that I was lying about getting that quote, and then now they're just not even passing that quote around. It's just the only people that suffer are just the American people that need to know this information.
Right.
It's the only people that suffer. The same people that have been for generation poisoned. So it's just a big fucking joke, dude. It's just a big fucking joke.
No, 100%. And also the Tina handle xtina_George, if anybody's wondering. How does it make you feel with people like her and Patel, Patel SJXRP, people in the space? How does it make you feel knowing you have support? There's people in the community that are backing you in pushing this forward, a legitimate movement of XRP.
Well, it's humbling. It's humbling to say the least. I try my best to, serve as best I can, just kind of on break right now, after going through all that stuff and then having to fight when I came home just to get the story just even a little bit heard, and like a few influencers had to issue some retractions, but it's humbling, and all the support that's actually came out, just to keep me doing whatever and bringing down the news. I try my best to just serve as best I can, steward the public trust, and that's about all I can do after that. To show gratitude and thanks, and not take the poison pill that a lot of these other influencers do, which is just here's the merch, here's this, here's that. XRP to 1,000, get the clickbaiting stuff going out there. No, we need actual journalists again. And I'm very proud to be a part of that.
No, it's definitely dope to have people like you out there. And what was it? Oh yeah, and you've been. You're saying you're taking a break. You have been being attacked. Geez, I feel like obviously the big stuff earlier last year, going into 25, I would say, right? That was like a little crossover. And then I noticed, dude, in the last couple of weeks leading up to XRP Vegas, those same people targeting you again. I mean, it was just like I whenever I see that stuff, I'm just like, what's the point? You know, like
they've lost all credibility. Like they have zero credibility. None of them do. They've been wrong on everything they've said. They've never educated people properly about what this technology is, what its importance is, or the history of what we've all went through. I don't see how any of those people have any sort of credibility whatsoever. And most people, you know, I haven't really I hate to put it like this, but no one's, you know, basically said, nah, we're just gonna just leave any in drove at all because after truth, like, you know, hear the facts, take it or leave it.
yeah, no, absolutely.
And you know, and these people, you know, they're just looking for the next. They're just looking for the next paycheck. That's it. It's ridiculous.
I'm trying to think. Have you seen? Because these people are so crazy sometimes. Like with the way they are like trying to break down and decode things. Have you seen this like bear? I forgot what its name is. I should have sent it to you when I saw it. It's just crazy. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It's
the
like
Riddlers and stuff. Well, here's the deal. I ended it. Okay. Like, there's no reason to riddle anymore. It's confirmed. Okay. No reason for it. It's confirmed. All right. We're now into the realm of talk about that. You don't need any of this other bullshit anymore. Just, you know, let's just all just get political. All right.
yeah. I mean, what do you think's next? Like, how do you, if you could go into a crystal ball, and obviously this is like just, you know, pure what you're thinking, how long until you think the laws will be passed?
Well, Trump says he wants it all on his desk by August, and September is the debt fight. So, and Fed Now goes live July 15th. So, you know, we're looking in that time span, according to Trump.
Right.
That's about as best answer as I can give you.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. You know, because just not even for the price of it, just to have it legitimized and actually be a part of, you know, the world in a real sense, and not just
Yeah.
it's a thing. You know, I'm waiting for it to go up. Like I'm just excited for it to actually be a part of day to day life. You know.
Yeah, and you know, the more stable coins that get added onto that ledger, the more transactions it's taken away from the Federal Reserve note at the end of the day, which is what we want. We want the Federal Reserve note to obsolete itself because it's no longer relevant. Like CBDCs are banned here, and it will be codified under law and a complete ban. And remember, central bank digital currencies only help the central bank stay alive, stay relevant, stay able to compete with all of these other units of account that can settle within 3 to 5 seconds. So this is about obsoleting the central bank, and that is what is causing all of the fraud and corruption that we see in our government because of the easy money and credit that it can lend out to all of its friends and whatever else and the CIA coups that get launched in order to keep that into circulation and keep these other countries forced into taking it. It's an evil system and it needs to go. And this is a way to transition out of it.
Right. When you were at XRP Vegas, did you meet anybody that you know, you've been cool with on X and stuff, and you know, had good moments with people?
Yeah, I met, you know, some people that have followed along for a while, and that was really cool just to meet them. But you know, I just when I do a job, I'm just so focused on doing the job. You know, I don't stop to smell the roses or anything, or I don't even know who if there is an influencer that I'm talking to at all. You know, I'm just too focused. You know, so as soon as David was done speaking, I just made the beeline right over to him, got the story, and then left immediately and went to the hotel. You know, like that's how I've always operated. Like, I just want to get the job done. All right. I don't want to screw around. you know, talking with people.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. What are you thinking of going to other events?
Well, I guess that's up to the people if they want to send me or not. You know, all I can do is just make myself available. So
Right.
I'm available for the next thing. If you guys need to send me, you could send me into the very heart of temptation and I will still get the job done.
That's right. I mean, you went to Vegas, so.
Right. Then not 1 cent spent on gambling or anything else. I just, I didn't even have time to anyway. Like between running spaces, doing posts, getting the story, going back, sleeping, getting ready, and then oh shit, I gotta leave. My plane's about ready to fly out. There was no time. There was no time anyway to do anything besides the job.
Right. And I know you said that, it was a lot of regurgitation at the conference, but was there anything else that stood out for you in terms of people saying
every single one of them got on there and started talking about laws. Not one of them talked about a price. Not one of them talked about charts. Not one of them talked about, riddles or hype. They all talked about the need for regulations and how things are changing legally, and now President Trump's in there, and now here's all these other things that are happening as far as legislation goes and working groups working with the financial industry. It was just another confirmation for me that all that other stuff was nonsense. It's always been about the laws since the very inception of this company and this technology, and all the speakers were saying it. Not once did they use a chart or a price. They just said, look, we need legislation. And here are the other partnerships that we're trying to establish with these other protocols. And that was it.
That's dope. Yeah, no, I mean, it's everything you've been preaching too, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
That's
what's fucking nuts about it, man. It's like, I had this one picture I posted, and now I kind of made it my profile picture on X. When I originally posted the picture, it was like traveled 800 miles just to find. I already gave away the plot. Like, hilarious, man, hilarious.
I mean, that must have been good, like talking to Joel and hearing that answer for you, because it's just.
Oh my gosh, dude! It was music to my ears. Music to my ears. Everything I fucking knew it was like it, and a whole bunch of other people deduced it as well, but deductions don't mean shit when you got it on compared to having it on the record and confirmed. That's everything. That's what being a journalist is all about, getting it on the record.
Right. And no, I mean, but for you specifically, I mean, being attacked, let's say a year and some change, I mean, really ever since you got into X, I almost feel like it, because you're not like around the bush. You say how it is. You come after people if they're, bullshit, and you're not afraid to call them out. So that triggers people, especially if they're being scam artists, that's like, weeding out the snake.
When you get in the way of the money,
right.
That tends to happen. So, it just comes with the territory. I don't mind. I don't really care. Like, at the end of the day, I'm just some dude from Missouri. So, it's these people that got the egos. You know what I mean?
I mean, 100%. I mean, there's so many of them nowadays. It's crazy.
Right. I block 20 accounts a day. 20 accounts a day, man. Like, I just don't want to hear their bullshit anymore.
Yeah, I don't know how you keep up with that. I mean, it's crazy. We had one heckler on our gaming show was it last week, Tony, or the week before?
2 weeks ago, I think.
2 weeks ago. I mean, and it was just like Joey, who's in the chat, couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Blocked him, made a new guy, had like multiple accounts, blocked him again. So to do 20 a day, I don't know. Joe would maybe, blow his brains
Might
out.
be the same guy 20 times a day.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm always plucking them out of the scroll, the For You scroll on X.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just scroll past. I'm like, you're out of here. You're out of here. You're out of here. Just a few combinations of words. I'm like, I don't want to fucking hear this shit no more. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, no, it's dope, dude. I don't know. I kind of feel like the finish line's in the distance, like we could see it. Not that it's like, right in front of us, but I do see the finish line, which is nice. Especially, kind of being in the space for a while now. I feel like, and I've never went into this space being like, oh, it's going to be quick. You kind of knew, especially at the time, they were still very heavy into the lawsuit,
Right.
which is over now. But it's like so annoying because it's technically not over. And Judge
Until the money has changed hands, nothing's over.
Exactly. It's like, can we just make it happen already? I mean, what's going on? Like, just give them the money and let's move on.
Right. It's just you almost feel like they're slow walking the whole thing while all this other international stuff gets settled up. Because once you have the laws passed and this tech is implemented, the American power structure has a extreme threat to it at that point when you decentralize the means of transacting. I mean, Iran, Russia, how are we going to pass sanctions on them when this tech literally is designed to skirt that? Right. So they got to wait to make all these other deals go through, stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, contract peace with Ukraine and Russia. China has to get their deal together, get their act together for a trade deal with the United States and to rebalance out the trade there so they can increase their consumerism. So I see this just as more international and geopolitical than it is technological at this point. It's just because of this huge geopolitical implication that this tech literally unleashes throughout the entire world and what it does to the American power structure.
Yeah, I mean, it is everywhere already, which is crazy. Saudi and Japan and Europe, and it's just waiting for the laws.
And that will continue.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, I'm really pumped. I'm not gonna lie. It's dope to have stumbled across it, and at the time that I did, and because you could have got wherever you land is tough. There's so much chart faggotry, as you like to call it.
Yeah, right. Where chart price faggotry, and it's all banned. So just don't even. Anytime someone's just bringing that shit up, just get out. Just get out. It doesn't make any sense. They're not educating you at all. I do it all very, very, very simply on my X account. All you have to do, it's all freely available. Just go and just binge watch it. I yell at you for free. All right. It's all in the highlight tab, No,
100%. And I feel bad for people who are new in the space, because if you're new in the space and you come across someone like that, you could get got. You know what I mean? And you
really quick.
And you believe everything they're saying, and it's like, next thing you know, you're wrong, and you're one of them.
There goes your money, man. And somebody made money off of you, And like that's how I ran it. It's like, okay, if you laugh and learn, send a tip, fella, and I can teach somebody else. Like that to me is just the only fair way to really do it. I'll just keep it for free for everybody just so they can learn. And if there's another event, you can send me, you can trust me, it's fine. I won't screw up. Like I'll get it done.
No, yeah, you
send me up there, fella. All right.
No, you definitely prove that. Joey is getting tight, Tony.
Oh, yeah, he is, dude. He says it's not that I couldn't handle it, by the way. This is in reference to the troll that was in our stream last week. I don't know why this isn't popping up. I guess they don't want me to have it pop up, dude.
It's because it's Joey.
He says it's the responsible thing to do. It's a bad look if someone clicks on our stream and a troll is spamming chat. None of the stuff that guy was saying was directed at me.
Because he wasn't looking at you.
Sounds like he was directing it towards you, Joey.
Yeah.
Joey's this towards you.
I know. Well, he's always trying to direct what you said. He's tight. It's all right.
He's tight. Dude.
And I honestly disagree. I think, like Manny says, when you have people that are hating, it's a good look.
That he said.
Yeah. He said he made it. So we had someone comment on one of our Binge Buddies posts that Manny, who does our other show, is the biggest dork he's ever seen. And he was like, he told his wife, he's like, honey, I made it. I got my first hater. I kind of just look at it like that.
Well, if that's true, then Joey Greenwood's the most famous person on the planet. Boom!
Oh, dude, yeah. Get got.
Also, Danny V says, let's go, dude. Need to catch up on this episode. No doubt, dude. The last 50 minutes have been very informational, to say the least.
Danny V's a great guy. Can't wait to see him Thursday.
You'll see him on Thursday, dude.
Yeah. really excited about that.
Yeah, I gotta come out there sometime, meet you guys in person. Yeah, hang
dude,
out a little
That'd
bit.
be sick, dude.
dude, yeah, we would love to have you here.
I hope you have like a 4-hour layover in Chicago.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I can't handle that shit. All right, I was sleeping in the terminal. All right.
I mean, I would love to put on like a, because we're at the Knowlton. Shout out the Knowlton. It's a great building, and it has 3 event spaces as well as studios that are small, medium, and large. I would
Nice.
love, and Sharon, the owner, Tony knows he's the best.
Great guy.
He's always team downtime. He always says.
Mhm.
I mean, dude, he would love to throw on a conference for crypto. I just know it. He'd be so down.
Mhm.
Yeah, we wouldn't have technical issues either.
Oh no, we would not.
Very true.
I mean, it could be live. Like people could come, they could sit in the crowd. It'd be like that.
Yeah.
Stage type of a thing, and they'd be able to ask questions and all that jazz.
That'd be awesome.
Well, let's
so
set something up, man. Let's freaking do it. All right.
I think we should do that, and see if the community would be down to help get you over here, and because we could handle all the other stuff, like the event and doing all that stuff and setting it up. We could, get that situation.
Flight shouldn't be that bad to get to. You guys are in New Jersey, right?
Connecticut. So even
Connecticut.
even easier.
Sorry.
Yeah. You can go to Bradley, go to Newark.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. You guys would just have to pick me up at the airport, man.
Oh, we'd have a time.
Oh yeah.
It'd be great. But yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about, Vinny?
No, not yet, man. I mean, that's a pretty good check-in there. I think that's a good place to cut it.
Yeah, no, I really, glad you got to talk about it. Really appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience, because, it was your first time having the community pay for you to go, which, they're paying for themselves essentially to get what they need. And you did the job and some by talking to, we got some comments, but we'll get to them in a sec. Talking to Joel.
From the horse's mouth.
Exactly.
Getting from the horse's mouth. I mean, that's exactly what everybody would have asked him.
Yep, 100%.
Is this thing what we all think it is? And yeah, it is. So that's the best thing, like, okay, all right, now it's time to get political. All right.
Yep.
And that's all there is to it.
Comments.
All
right, let's get to the comments, dude. Joey Greenwood says you're giving them what they want by engaging with them. And then Josh B says LMAO. Tony says bad guy.
Yeah.
Bad guy, dude. And then Danny V already hopping on the train.
Yep.
That would be fire. Sign me up for that.
Yep, I know.
The conference, that is.
We know we'd be able to get a great crowd for it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, dude.
So yeah, let's figure that out. That's maybe the next thing we plan. Maybe do something for the end of the summer, like an end of summer type thing.
EOS.
End
of summer.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, where can everybody find you? It's in the bio, but I just want you to say it as well. We do have it posted for everyone, just in case. Just look in the bio. From X to
the best place. Yeah. So the best place is on x.com, Vincent SCO 72192. And then you can just go from there to my one TikTok link, which is in the bio of my X page, Vincent Scott on TikTok. So yeah, I just post a bunch of stuff, and just try and increase education and provide just different perspective on things, just so you can, get with the ball here and figure out, how to take this system down, and this is a for sure way to do it. This is an entirely new financial system that literally is a threat to Federal Reserve and SWIFT and all this stuff that has forged the paper chains all around us. So, and I got it confirmed that it is a financial system. So, full steam ahead, everybody.
Yeah, and I highly recommend you follow him. Even if you don't have an X account, make an X account, sign up, follow Vinny, and turn your notifications on. I have my notifications on. It's worth it. You're always up to date. I'll tell you that, especially for XRP news. That's valuable and important. And even on his personal stuff too. If anyone's coming to attack him, you get some tea with that.
I try and make you laugh a little bit, you know.
And Joey, you should get X because he hammers some guitar sessions, so you could you could check that out too. Joey's a huge guitar music guy. He's honestly the best guitarist. I'll give him a compliment because he doesn't like when I compliment him. Best guitarist I know. He's very talented, very very talented. So when you come out, you guys could jam as well.
All right, I'll bring the X.
Yeah, it would be dope. That'd be sick.
I'll give you a run for your money, Joey. All right.
Wow. We could do like a real life Guitar Hero.
That'd be cool.
There you go.
Pre-show. That would be sick. I'll never play guitar for you, Joey said. He's such a Why is he such a little gremlin?
Gremlin.
He's always so angry. Last night he asked me, he's like, "Why are you so happy and optimistic about movies?
Just be pessimistic."
Pessimistic. But he's just being silly. We love Joey. And Vince, you're the best, dude. Thanks for everybody tuning in. If you're first time here, sub, like, comment, share with your family, get educated on XRP. Go follow Vincent. If you're returning, thanks for returning back. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.